the judgment get clouded when you clouded. My opposition wish I'd stop smiling. My family wish I'd stop wildin'. I'm still on the east side smoking with my OG, cause they the only ones that really know me. I was fucking superstars when I was 19. Shit we did, you won't believe me. Now I'm at the turn up looking lonely. Then they wanna run quiet at them house parties, cause everybody see me.
What's the name? It's Dollface, aka Natiya, and I'm back here with another video. Today's video is gonna be a pack and check. So as I told y'all in the last video, my husband got stationed. We were moving. Me and the baby were gonna move with him. A couple weeks ago, I found out he was getting stationed in California. So this Wednesday, I'm moving in California. Today is Saturday, so I actually have a lot to do. I have a lot of stuff I need to pack. It's really mainly like clothes for me. The baby, she has like a lot of clothes, a whole bunch of like cases of diapers, cases of wipes. She got high chairs, car seat, stroller. Like it's stuff I gotta get shipped and it's stuff I gotta go and play with us. So as y'all see behind me, I got a suitcase for me, but a suitcase for the baby because I don't have that much space on the bed. I got a suitcase for him. So the main reason I'm making this video is because I posted on my Instagram story about how I was moving to California, and someone slid up and was like, "You should vlog it. We need more content. Like post more videos." And I'm like, wait, hold on. I didn't even know people watched my videos for real. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do another video. Like I can vlog going to California because that'd be really interesting. And we was talking. We had a good like conversation. She was like, yeah, you should vlog it, because everybody at home, like this is the best time. Like, yeah, you right, sis, you right. So something just told me to go and look at how many views I had on the video. I went on YouTube and I looked and it said that I had over 800 views. Now for me, that's a lot because I'm a really smart channel. I'm not gonna say I just started not that long ago. I've been posting on and off deleting like since I was in like the 8th grade. So I only had 36 subscribers. So when I looked, I had 101 subscribers and I had over 800 views on the video. And I'm like, dang, like I didn't know people watched me. So because I got that advice from the girl, I don't know her name, but I enter her at because sis, this video happened in Cali. So I'm actually gonna start. I'm gonna post my videos. So today is like the topic of this pack and chat is going to be my labor and delivery story. Now, as most of you may know, like my baby was born February 1st. I said in the last video. This is a very interesting story. So let me like gather some clothes together so I can get started. Okay, so I have my first set of clothes ready to get ready to start folding. So let's just hop into the story. So basically, I was 40 weeks. I wasn't having a contraction, or nothing. I went to the doctor the day of my due date. I was due January 30th. So I went to the doctor the day of my due date, and he was like, he decided that he was going to check me to see how far along I was, because I was 40 weeks. So because I was 40 weeks and like I had no movement, I was telling him that I wanted to get induced. He said, we're going to check you to see how far dilated you are. So he checked me and he says, yeah, you're not ready at all. Your mucus plug didn't even come out. And I'm like, how you know? He was like, because it's right here. And he pulled his hands out and my mucus plug was sitting on his hand. And I'm just like, this whole time, like my mucus plug hadn't even filled, which means I was nowhere near ready. I was dilated to 1. See me. Mama laughed at me when I told her I was dilated to 1. She was like, girl, I'm dilated to 1 and I ain't even pregnant. Because everybody is at 1 basically. So he went on ahead and told me, okay, come in tomorrow. Go to the hospital tomorrow at 1 o'clock and you're going to get induced in. I said, okay, cool. I go to the hospital. I delivered at this hospital that would not be named. I may name them eventually further along in the story, but for right now I'm not gonna name them. I went to the hospital and I go to the check-in and they said that they can't find my name and for me to get induced. So they just went on here and sent me upstairs. I'm talking to the lady. She's like, yeah, you're not scheduled to get induced, but because you're here, you have your bags packed and all of this, like you ready to go, we're gonna try and find your room. I guess the hospital was like overcrowded that day, so that was just like, we gonna try to get you, like we're gonna get you in, like you're not going home like without a baby, but we gonna try to get you in. I'm like, okay, good. While we sitting in the room talking, I get a phone call and it says, "Hi Natiya, this is whatever the lady's name from such and such hospital, and we're calling to let you know that you get induced tomorrow at 8 a.m. Like, ma'am, what do you mean? My doctor told me to come in today at 1 o'clock. He was like, he told me like, yeah, he sent your paper over to get induced too late, so you had to get induced for the next day. So me and mom sitting there, and I'm upset because I had to be there at 1. I didn't really get into a room around like 3, and I didn't get into a room around to like 3, and I didn't start my labor process till about 6. So we was just sitting there. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I ate though. My mama bought me some Wendy's, and y'all, what's crazy is throughout my entire pregnancy, I wouldn't put Wendy's in my mouth. Like, you couldn't pay me to eat no Wendy's while I was pregnant. Like, I hated Wendy's. Ever since that day, I've been in love with Wendy's. I liked Wendy's before I got pregnant, but when I was pregnant, I just didn't like it. So I ate the Wendy's. Then they took me to the room, and I'm like, wow, it's about to get started. So when as I told y'all, before I had like the day before I had went to the doctor, and they said I was 1 centimeter. So they checked me before we started the labor process, and they said that I was at 4 centimeters. So the night before I had, like the night of my appointment, because I was 40 weeks, that night, and I was getting ready to go into labor the next day, I was actually contracting, and I didn't know that I was having contractions. I thought that the baby was just balling up at the bottom of my stomach. So I'm like, okay, cool. I get there, they tell me I'm at 4. I'm like, heck yeah, like 6 more, we there. So I'm sitting there. Then they come in, they do a ultrasound of the baby. They're like, she looks about 6 pounds 1 ounce. I'm like, 6 pounds and 1 ounce, like, what do you mean? Like, at my last appointment, my last ultrasound, the baby was 5 pounds and like 10 ounces. I'm like, she only gained this itty bitty amount since this time? And I'm like, yeah, she only look about 6 pounds 1 ounce. Like, my last ultrasound appointment was so long ago. So they're like, well, it could be off because my baby, she wasn't straightened out. She was real balled up, so she couldn't get accurate measurements. So she was like, yeah, she may be about 7. I'm like, okay, cool. After they take my after they do the ultrasound, they come in and they say, basically how we gonna start your labor is we gonna put you on some Pitocin. Now Pitocin is basically what they use to induce your labor. It's some type of like hormone or something to get labor active. So they put me on the Pitocin. I started contracting. Contractions weren't really that bad for me. But the only reason I did ended up getting the epidural, but that's just because I didn't want to feel when I push. Now y'all, wait till I get there. So I'm on the Pitocin. I'm contracting, everything going okay. I'm like, okay, well, it's been a long time. Tell them to come check me. Like, I gotta be getting somewhere. Contractions are like heating up. They check me again. They go, oh, you only have 5. Like, you telling me like it's been a couple hours. It's been about 3-4 hours, and I'm only at 5 centimeters. No. So I was getting the contractions, and like I really started to feel them. I'm like, oh, it hurt. I think I might end up getting epidural. My mama like, no, you're not getting epidural. It don't hurt. It's all in your brain. You're telling yourself it hurt. And my auntie was there, and like they was just going back and forth. She like, no, if you feel like you need the epidural, get the epidural. I should listen to my mama, but I get what my auntie was saying. So she like, if you feel like you need the epidural, get the epidural. My mama and his mom went downstairs because he couldn't be there because he was at his training, so we was on FaceTime the whole time. So he told me to so I'm just like, okay, give me the epidural. when my mama came back upstairs, they was like, yeah, you can't go in the room because she getting ready to get her epidural. She's like, I knew that was gonna happen. As soon as I walked out, you got it. But like, I was really like, it was hurting, but like, not that bad. It was just hurt. I knew I was close to labor and I didn't want to feel her come out. So the man come in to do my epidural, the anesthesiologist, and he was like, okay, how much did you weigh at your last appointment? And I told him, I'm like, I was like 148. Before I got pregnant, I was like 120. I basically started at 120 and my end weight was 148. So he was like, okay. He gave me the first shot, because you know when you get the epidural, the first shot is just the like some local anesthesia to numb you so you don't feel it. I'm like, okay, that hurt, baby. You giving me a shot in my back. So then that's when he had started to like put the epidural in. He telling me how to position myself. I really don't remember how I positioned myself. Don't remember a lot of stuff from that day. So I'm positioning myself and I can feel this big old epidural needle going in. He like, wait, don't jump. I'm like, it hurt. He like, wait, you can feel it? I'm like, yes, I can feel it. So he like, okay, we gotta renumb you because you're not supposed to feel it. And I'm like, oh my God, you messing up already, because I'd heard a lot of stories about people in these epidurals, and I'm scared. So he renumbed my back, and I didn't feel the needle as much, but I could still feel it. He put it in, and he said, do you feel anything? And I'm like, yeah. He like, are you getting numb? I'm like, this leg numb, this one I'm just bobbling it, I'm moving it. He basically he was like, stop playing, you can feel. I'm like, yeah. I'm moving my leg for him. This leg, it was tingling, but I could move it. And he like, okay, no, that's not supposed to happen. So only one side of my body was starting to get numb. So then that's when he'd say, okay, just turn around. And he's like, the epidural is kind of like a catheter, like it's a string getting back. So he just like, and he just rubbing it and playing with it. And so my other leg started to get numb. He walks out. The nurses walking in. They're like, okay, we're going to put a catheter in and we're going to break your water. I'm like, smooth. This lady come in and stick this catheter inside of me. I felt it all. I'm like, ow, ow. They're like, you can feel, like, I thought the epidural was supposed to numb you down there. Like, you can feel what's going on. Like, heck yeah. Other lady come in and break my water. I felt the little hook go up in there. I felt the little twist. I felt my water come down. A lot of people say they don't feel when they come out, but I felt it because I wasn't numbed properly. So that's when they're like, okay, things should get like speeding up real soon. Then after that, it was like contractions got worse. Like they really just started to like hit me. And I'm like, oh my god. But remind y'all, I can still feel in my vagina. So everything, like only thing that really was numb was a part of my stomach, like this piece of my stomach and my two legs. So I could feel all the contractions in my vagina. Then like it was just this one like big contraction where I just knew it was time to push. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, get the nurse. So my auntie like, wait, what you mean? I'm like, get the nurse, like this baby finna come. So the nurse come in and she like, you feel like you need to be checked? I'm like, ma'am, I feel like I need to push. She like, okay, well, let's have a look. She got out there, she put her fingers in there a little bit, and she like, yep, it's time. I'm like, I thought I was over. I thought I was being over dramatic for a second. But she like, nah, it's time to push. Like the baby head down there is coming down. I'm like, oh my god. She like, let's call your doctor. We call my OB. Let me just tell y'all this. We call my OB. He like, okay, I'm 10 minutes away. He didn't come. We call him again. He like, yo, I'm in a parking lot. 30 minutes go by. We call him again. He like, I'm pulling up, I'm outside, I'm about to walk up. 15 more minutes go by. like they just like, do you want to push? Like, do you want to like do this without him? I'm like, no, because like I've been with him since I was 5 weeks pregnant. So I'm like, no, I don't want to I want him to get his money. So I was at 10 minutes dilated for a good, like for over an hour, and I was holding it in. Like I'm holding it in because like she coming down, but a lot of people say it's good to let them come down because that's the less pushing you got to do. But remind y'all, my epidural wasn't working, so I felt everything. So my doctor better be lucky because I wanted him to make that money. Okay. Then finally he come. It was his birthday too. My baby was born. His birthday. Ain't that sweet? So he finally come and he's like, okay, you 10 centimeters. He go, oh, the baby here right there. Come on. It's a hope. The hospital I went to, there like it's a lot of student doctors there. So the student doctors come in. They all in there. They all come in like fully draped in these gowns and stuff. They wasn't wearing gloves. Don't know why. My doctor had no gloves though. And he like, okay, we finna push. And he like push, and he like, don't scream, just push. And I'm pushing, and I'm pushing, and I'm pushing, and I was pushing for only 10 minutes. That's not a lot compared to a lot of people I know, but I pushed for 10 minutes, and the baby started to come down, and I started to feel a burn. I'm like, oh my God, like it's like the pain just started to get worse. And the doctor, one of the student doctors was like, just don't think about the burn. Ma'am, what do you mean don't think about the burn? Talking about just ignore the burn. How am I finna ignore the burn? And so apparently the burn, that big old piece of burn was my vagina that was split in half. So finally the baby come out, and my doctor tells my mother, he goes, grab her. Mom like, what? He like, pull her. And she pulled the baby out my vagina. And she laid the baby on my chest. She put it on my chest. And like my baby just looked at me, and I'm like, oh, hi mama. Like I didn't care about nothing. So then the doctor like, here go. He gave my mama, his mama, and my auntie a clip. And they like here. So they each got to cut a piece of the umbilical cord. And that was real nice. Everybody got to cut a piece. Because at first, I'm like, I want to cut my own baby umbilical cord. But by the time she came, like, I didn't want to do nothing but eat. I wanted to hold her. I wanted to eat. I wanted to lay down. Like, I didn't want to cut it. So he let them all cut a piece. They put her on my stomach. And she came out with a little surprise. That's all I'm going to say. She came out with a little surprise. I'm like, oh, my God, look. And so I look. And I'm like, girl, how this happen? And I really didn't care. So they're like, oh, that ain't nothing. Like, that ain't nothing. She alright. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah. So my baby wasn't crying when she came out, but she was moving, and she was like, she wasn't talking. Like, she was moving, she was making a little noise. Then, next thing I know, that when they take her off my chest, when they took my baby over and started cleaning her off, and she started crying. So I forgot to tell y'all, while they was cleaning the baby off, I was getting stitched up. And because my epidural didn't work, I felt every single last stitch go in, from the needle poking me to them yanking the thread. And it hurt so bad. My whole vagina lip split in half, literally. And she was only 6 pounds, 2 ounces. I don't know how she did that. It was being rough for my baby because she wasn't crying at first. So they started to clean her off. And they, you know, my mom and them taking pictures. Like, by this time, I had forgot what she looked like. I'm like, I want to see a picture. They showed me the picture. I'm like, oh, she looked just like his brother. She looked like his brother for a real long time. But thank God she don't look like him no more, because I would have been mad. Like, how am I going to do all this work and you come out looking like him? He's like, he didn't do nothing. So, finally, the baby was here. I got to hold her. I got to attempt to breastfeed, but when they ain't coming out, so I told them just to give her a bottle. They was like, oh, something to come out eventually. So I'm like, she's supposed to be hungry to them. Bottle. Gave her the bottle. Then my mama and his mama and my auntie just left. They came, they seen the baby, they seen her come out, then they left. Then my cousin to them, she got to come back up because I had too many people in the room. Only 3 people could be in the room at a time. So she got to come back up. She spent the night with me the whole time, y'all. Like, she really thinks she my baby daddy. She is my baby daddy. She my second baby daddy, okay, y'all? So she came in, like, she spent the night with me every single night I was at the hospital. She was there, like, when I was at the hospital, when the baby was crying, she would get up and get her first. I'm like, okay, go ahead. Because I was really tired, so she really helped me out a lot. And she did help me out a lot. I'm not going to be fake. Okay, here come the bad experience. Basically, I was in the room that I delivered in from 1:20 till 7 o'clock in the morning. 6 going on 7. I was in my delivery room for a really long time because, like I said in the beginning, the hospital was packed. So I was in there for a real long time, and I was only supposed to be in there for an hour. We just spent the night in there. It was real big. It was bigger than the room that I actually stayed in at the hospital, because we got to the room. We tried to, like, go to the bathroom. Went to the bathroom, tried to wash our hands. The water was coming out the side of the sink. We didn't notify the nurse, like, ma'am, this ain't supposed to happen. This ain't supposed to be like that. Then it came in, the sink is silver. They done slapped some blue and black tape on that junk. I tell my baby, like, that's not how, like, when you have a baby, your baby get, like, a little crib, and it got the drawers with the receiving blankets, the burp cloths, the milk, the diapers, and the wipes. They just gave me a little gray hospital pan, and they put her a diaper, some milk, and some stuff, all that stuff in the bottom of the pan, because my baby was still in the same container from when she came out. And oh yeah, y'all, they didn't even give my baby newborn diapers. They gave my 6-pound baby size 1 diapers. Like, why? So I didn't get a crib till the day before I left, and I was really mad, because I'm like, everybody else's baby got one, and my baby got to be in the same, like, the thing didn't even have stoppers on it. It just was like a rolling, like, little metal thing. So I'm like, okay. I was really upset about that. My cousin made sure they came and brought me one day. So, thanks to her. Because I really didn't feel like cussing out nobody. I just went in the mood. I went to go sleep. So, after that, they came in. You know how, like, if you have a baby, they come in, they take your temperature, take the baby temperature, they monitor your bleeding, all of that. Basically, like, from the time my baby was born, they kept trying to say that her temperature was low. They did this, like, they kept coming in and saying her temperature low, her temperature low. Then the lady finally was like, well, if we come back in here the next time her temperature's still low, she gonna have to go to the nursery. I'm like, y'all ain't taking my baby, no. Y'all got me effed up. So they, like, do the skin to skin, and we see what that do. Finally, her temperature rose, because I had, when you first had your baby, they had your baby in, like, this little long sleeve thingy. I took that off of her, and I put her in a onesie. Actually, the onesie that she had at the hospital is right here. This is the onesie that my baby wore at the hospital. This the onesie I put her in to make her warm. I put that on her. Just my. And she was cool. I turned the heat up in the room, like, it was blazing in there just because I wanted her to be warm. So here come the day of my release. The day of my release was I guess it was like Super Bowl day or something. I'm not sure what was going on. Something was going on. I've seen a nurse, like, I left, it was nighttime. I think I seen a nurse twice that day. I went from seeing a nurse from, like, 6 times a day. They came in there, like, it felt like almost like every 3 hours. Like, I don't know how often they came in there, but they came in there a lot. And I seen a nurse twice that day. I really didn't like that, because they're supposed to come in, they're supposed to take your temperature, they're supposed to take the baby temperature. Then they supposed to issue out some pain medication, because after you have a baby, your stomach feel real funny. you're doing a lot of bleeding. I had to get 20 stitches because my baby split my vagina in half. So it was just like I did a lot of bleeding. I was in a lot of pain. So because they only came in there like at like 2 o'clock in the morning, then they came in there like sometime around like 9 or something, and I ain't seen them no more after that. It was like, so I'm just laying here in pain, and y'all just not coming in here. So yeah, the food at the hospital was trash. I just ate ice cream. Well, actually, I didn't even get to eat my ice cream because they told me, my cousin was like, don't eat at the cold. And my aunties and my mom and them said don't eat at the cold. So I just ate cookies and orange juice the whole time I was there because the food was just trash. I ate cookies and orange juice. Not even gonna tell y'all how many times they came in there and gave me the wrong plate, took it back, gave me the right plate. I'm not gonna tell y'all about that either. But just know that this is a hospital in Detroit, Michigan. Starts with the H and ends with the Utzel. And it's like, it was ghetto. It was too much going on for me. The nurses were really nice. That's all I'm gonna say. They have some really nice nurses. I had the smallest, most rinky-dink room because, like they said, they was full. So it's really not their fault. They had a lot of like patients that day, but they was full. And I had a rinky-dink room with water coming out the side of the sink. My doctor took 20,000 years to come. I was dilated to 10 for over an hour. I'm not gonna say that because I'm on camera. I already told y'all the name of the hospital, so a lot of y'all like know, like a lot of y'all may know him because he's a popular doctor around here, around these parts. So I ain't gonna say that. But just know it was really trash. I had to get 20 stitches. And yeah, y'all, so I'm still not done packing, but I'm almost done packing my first little batch of clothes. And that was my labor and delivery story. And I'm going to video here because it's getting long, and I really feel like I dragged this story so much. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Next video, y'all see me, I'm gonna be on the plane. But it was nice seeing y'all. Only way to go is up from here. Stay tuned for more content, and I'll see y'all next time.